It is it 50? I can't. Oh, it's 5:04, and I now call the meeting to order of the VCPUSD School Board. A quorum is present. Member Worthy is joining us via teleconference. Please note that the meeting is being recorded. Is there any public comment?
No public comment for the closed session.
Okay, and being none, we will adjourn into closed session. I now call the public meeting of the VCPUSD School Board to order, and we have a quorum. Member Worthy is joining us via teleconference, and please note that the meeting is being recorded. We are going to now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Diane Martineau. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Reporting action out of closed session. There's nothing to report out of closed session. For D, the approval of the agenda, additions, deletions, and any corrections. Do I have a motion? Okay. Member Kolb Senior makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A second. Any discussion? Being none, we will go for the vote. Member Benneman?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? Member Worthy is on teleconference. Does she? Member Worthy, do we say something?
She said aye.
Okay. And Member Stroh votes aye. Favorite part, recognition and presentations of our district employees of the month. And first, who's going to take the lead? Okay. Greg Webelow will take over from here.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Good evening, Madam President, members of the board. Every school district has one person who pretty much knows every other employee in that school district. And here in Valley Center-Pauma, we are so fortunate that our person in that role is Ellen McPhee. It's true. Ellen, you can come on up here now. Ellen is the person who literally works with every other employee in our district at some point in their career here. For some, this first contact comes when they see a VCPUSD job opening on EdJoin. Ellen takes care of every one of those postings for us, making sure they are detailed and accurate. Still, of course, some people have questions about jobs, and when an applicant has a question, they call Ellen. And Ellen is the person who when they have these questions, she is a cheerleader for our school district, a supporter of our school district. She advertises our school district and answers their questions and goes above and beyond to support them. She extols the virtues of our school district, and she also takes the time to get to know the person on the other end of that phone. And while she zealously recruits for these positions, she also helps applicants understand when they might not be exactly the right fit for a position. And that's important for us, because we have to find the right people for the right positions. And sometimes she finds people that maybe they're not right for one position, but they would be right for another position, and that's great too, and that happens all the time. And Ellen is a great recruiter. She knows our community and the people in it, and she's been known to recruit local members of our community to apply for positions, open positions, when she knows they would be a good addition to our team. And this recruitment extends to our community. It even extends to her own home. You might know that she recruited her husband, an experienced police officer and school resource officer, to join our security team in 2020. That's my favorite. She woke up one morning and said, I know who would be good for that job, this guy next to me here. So all of Ellen's work on the phone in the community and even in her own home means that we find the right people for the right positions. And that really benefits our students, which is important. And then, of course, when job applicants get called in for interviews, inevitably the first person they see when they come in is Ellen. And we all know what it's like to go on a job interview. It's nerve-wracking, you're stressed out. How fortunate are applicants that the person they get to deal with is Ellen when they walk in that door. She's calm, she's kind, she's welcoming, and most importantly, she's reassuring to these applicants. What more could a nervous applicant ask for? And then after interviews take place, and we do find that perfect candidate, usually the school principal or department lead will call and they'll say, hey, we're recommending you for a position, and the next call you're going to get is from HR, and that next call is from Ellen. And she welcomes them into our district, and she expresses her excitement to be able to make that job offer at that time. And here's what a few people said to me about their experiences with Ellen when they've been offered positions. One person said, I was nervous about everything that needed to be done during the new hire process, and Ellen was always extremely supportive and helpful. Another person said, when I was hired at VCPUSD, Ellen made the onboarding process effortless and efficient. If I had questions, she was prompt with answers. Above all that, Ellen is kind and welcoming. New employees are so fortunate to have Ellen be the first person that they interact with here at the district. So true. And Ellen was so wonderful in my entire hiring process. When signing paperwork at your new job, it can be really overwhelming. Sometimes you are just not completely sure what you are signing or what to do. Ellen was extremely helpful in breaking down all the paperwork and explaining what I was signing, easing all my worries. We are really fortunate to have Ellen here in her position in our district. She literally meets every single new certificated and classified employee, every single one of them. And Ellen's coworkers, those of them who have been working with her for years, are equally effusive in their praise. She is described as dependable, reliable, efficient, smart, tenacious, proactive, a problem solver, hardworking, dedicated, trusted, ethical, warm, and kind. Having worked closely with Ellen over a year now, I can tell you that Ellen is all of these things and more. She's a problem solver who works tirelessly to get things done for our department, our school district, and our employees. And Ellen does all this without seeking the spotlight. No, Ellen is an employee who quietly but diligently and very competently provides support to virtually every single employee in our district during multiple points in their careers. Whether it's that young, first-time job seeker or a long-time employee who's looking at retirement, they go to Ellen. And we can always count on Ellen to treat everyone in the same way, with that kindness and the ability and commitment to help them. So for all these reasons, I'm honored to be here tonight to recognize Ellen McPhee as our District Employee of the Month for the 24-25 school year.
Whew, thank you. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, board members and administrators. I'm truly honored and touched to be recognized tonight as the District Office Classified Employee of the Month. I'm humbled to be praised for a job that I simply love doing, and a job I get to do in my community where my husband and I raised our kids. Our son and daughter were brought up through Valley Center schools, and our daughter was one of the first few graduating classes of the new high school. They are both living successful lives, and we are grateful for the many administrators, teachers, and support staff of Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District who influenced them along the way. So I view my work as a small way of paying it forward. I never thought I would find myself working in human resources. That didn't sound attractive to me at all, but here I am. And it's so rewarding to be part of a process of hiring and supporting our great teachers and staff. The best part of my job is to see someone I hired be successful. I'm motivated and inspired to do the best I can because I appreciate the importance of what we all do for our kids. We each have an important role in making a difference in the kids' lives and the families we serve. I have to acknowledge with gratitude that I'm part of an amazing team in HR and the district office, including Christina here. My HR team makes me look good. And it makes me look forward to going to work every day. We all work hard and truly care about the people we serve for the best interest of the kids, and it's really all about the kids. So thank you so much for this honor.
You are wonderful, so much.
And I just want to say, because I've had many people who have applied and talked with Ellen, and she is a true blessing. They're like, wow, and just the wonderful compliments they give our district and how warm and all the information. Well, maybe you might want to do this then, and just wonderful. So she's just full of heart, and we are blessed to have her. So thank you so much. There you go.
we give out until the last moment, until the last child we serve, we lead, we grow, and you really you carry that strong. I came up here to say something else, so I'll go back on track. There's a lot of great things that you do and reasons why you got this, but one of the ones that's most special to me is you are the first person that many people see when they interact with Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District, and I can't think of anybody that I'd rather have representing us up there. So I appreciate you very, very much.
Mesa Batar will recognize our certificated Employee of the Year.
Hi, I know I'm supposed to talk about Yesenia, but Ellen, congrats. We love you. Good job, and we're grateful for having you on our team. President Stroh, members of the school board, Superintendent McCowan, colleagues, friends, and community members, we are here tonight to celebrate Yesenia Vargas, a wonderful person who is truly exceptional in her dedication to our students and their families. Yesenia. Please note that all of my remarks tonight are not just my personal opinion. It's a collection and a reflection of all of our friends and students and colleagues. She's just an incredible person. I'm gonna try not to cry when I'm Yesenia has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the success and well-being of our migrant students and their families. Her dedication and passion for her work are truly exemplary and deserving of this honor. Throughout her tenure, Yesenia has consistently gone above and beyond to support our migrant students. She is a tireless advocate, ensuring that each student receives the resources and support they need to thrive. Her collaborative efforts with teachers, families, and students have not gone unnoticed. She's everywhere. Yesenia manages students' transcripts thoroughly, ensuring that they are on track to graduate, and actively works to pull together resources to meet the basic needs of our migrant families. Yesenia's commitment extends into the homes of our students. It's not only in our schools. She makes home visits to build trustful relationships with our families, demonstrating her genuine care and concern for their well-being. Additionally, she organizes the Migrant Intervention Program after school and ensures that fun and enriching activities are available during the migrant summer school. Through these efforts, Yesenia provides vital support and enrichment opportunities, making every student feel valued, appreciated, and heard. And this is my hardest part. Her impact on the lives of the migrant community is profound. Yesenia is a role model to all of our migrant students who look up to her and aspire to be like her. And one senior migrant student expressed, and that's what she said, "Someone I admire is Miss Yesenia. She's from the immigrant program. And I don't know if you know, but Yesenia was a migrant student herself. And this student said, I admire her because despite everything that has happened to her, she's a successful woman in life and is very intelligent. And I love her so much, and I want to be like her." Recognizing Yesenia tonight as Teacher of the Month would not only honor her exceptional contributions, but also inspire her to continue her outstanding work. And I always tell her when one day she becomes someone super important, which she is now, but like a famous person on TV, I tell her to tell everyone that she worked with us and we were part of her team, because she will be someone that is super famous. Right, Yesenia? You'd better, Yesenia. We are incredibly proud of you, Yesenia, and are deeply grateful for your amazing work. You have done so much to benefit our overall migrant community. Yesenia, thank you for your commitment to our students and our families. You're deeply appreciated. You wanna say something?
just want to say that I'm honored. Thank you, board members. Thank you, administrators, and everybody who has played a role in my career. Being part of the Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District really has been an amazing journey, and I couldn't have picked a better district to be a part of as the first district that I'm in, and hopefully for a very, very long time. Just recalling back right now, I'm reminiscing on the moments of when I started here in the district. Well, I started at Lilac as a student teacher during COVID year. But one of the core memories that I have is, getting hired, getting that phone call through HR and saying, hey, we have a job position for you. And they told me Pauma, and I was like, Pauma? Where's Pauma? And so I told them, how much time do I have to think about it? If you don't say yes, we're going to go on to the next candidate. And I was like, you know what? Yes, I'm sold. And so my sister drove me to Pauma, and as we're driving down the curves right down this street, right, I just start crying. I'm like, I don't know what I got myself into. And next thing you know, I'm sitting in my classroom, and I come to Pauma, no signal, and a flat tire. So that was my welcome to the district. And thank goodness Rick was there on campus because he helped me out. But Leonie, Sarah, thank you so much for all the support, unconditional support, and really just giving me the opportunity to grow as a leader and as a teacher. And thank you, Mesa, for everything that you do. I couldn't do anything if it weren't for you. You're the backbone of our migrant education program, and our students and families really do benefit from all the support and all the everything that we do for them. So they're the center of what we do, and so I learned it all from youth, so thank you so much.
Good job, Yesenia.
I just want to say real quick, a huge thank you. She has just enhanced our migrant. I love hearing the story. It was just how wonderful. And don't forget us when you're, but enhanced our migrant program, and what a blessing it is to have you just really making a difference in their lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we want to give you a coin also. I'll hold on to it for you. You are a rising star, and it's our students that are the beneficiaries of that. So thank you for all your hard work. And before we take the picture, you got to tell us who our two special guests are back here.
Oh, the twins?
Oh yeah, they're the. Who are these guys? Are
They're
these
my-
neat nephews?
They're my nephews.
Hey guys. Hi guys. Are you proud of your aunt tonight? Are you proud of your aunt? Yeah.
So
Oh, they're twins. Hi.
the twins,
They
they're
are-
my nephews, and my sister, who's also a teacher in Vista.
Oh, good.
She's still in Vista, and then I also have my boyfriend coming with me, Juan Carlos.
Nice to meet you guys.
Congratulations.
Thanks for coming, boys.
Thanks for coming.
They just look so cute back there.
They're darling, and you would notice that.
Especially when they're twins.
Yeah.
All right. It's always wonderful, these awards. I love it. Congratulations to both of you. What a contribute and enhancement you are to our district. We appreciate that. Okay, we're going to go into the elementary arts program. And I now turn the meeting over to Assistant Superintendent Mark Howland.
And I will hand this presentation over to Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Stephanie McIntyre.
Okay. I could have said that.
Good evening, President Stroh, members of the board, Superintendent McCowan, and our colleagues and community. It's my pleasure to share with you tonight information on our elementary arts program, along with a preview of Deep Space Sparkle, a supplemental visual arts program our teachers will be using this school year. With the addition of Prop 28 arts funding, we now have 2 itinerant art teachers serving our elementary schools this year. Kim Williams will be serving at Lilac and Valley Center Elementary, while Lisa Eaton will be serving Pauma School, Valley Center Primary, and Valley Center Prep. Kim and Lisa collaborated with our site principals to create a schedule to rotate classes through an art room located on the campuses. For VC Prep, where we're still working on our program, but we envision being able to send home art supplies and hosting some online art sessions with the students, or possibly hosting days on campus where the students could come in and participate in an art activity as well. So Deep Space Sparkle, when we were looking for a curriculum for our staff to use, this program came highly recommended. Fun fact, Deep Space Sparkle was the name of a crayon. In case you were wondering where that came from, it's an unusual name. Deep Space Sparkle is a standards-based resource hub that has lessons for grades K through 8. In addition to lesson bundles, the site provides access to a number of asynchronous trainings, as well as opportunities for live or in-person trainings. Our staff will have the opportunity to connect with online art community to stay up to date with standards and lessons. As you can see here, the curriculum components include detailed lesson plans, drawing guides, handouts, literacy connections, slide decks, posters, project plans. Lessons can be adapted to make sure that all students have access to the lessons and content, supply lists, and creating some global awareness. They have 4 major lesson bundles: the EASE bundle, exploring art supplies through environments; EPIC, elements and principles integration curriculum; art through the ages; and the global art passport curriculum. This year, our teachers are using the EPIC curriculum with our students. So in the EASE curriculum, there are 9 different environment-themed bundles. Each bundle focuses on one art medium and aligned with art standards. Our students will gain artistic confidence through the environment-themed projects and thoughtful application of a single technique or medium. Our EPIC bundle has 14 different bundles. It's a year-long curriculum, and it has additional resources for students, including digital quizzes and printable sketchbooks. Art Through the Ages teaches young artists how art has progressed throughout the centuries. There are 10 different bundles. So as I count off the bundles, it's just to show that there's a plethora of material. It is a 10-month curriculum in itself. And most of these curriculum have tutorial videos for the educators too that demonstrate the techniques as well. And we have, there's some backwards. There we go. Our Global Arts Passport, and teaches young artists about unique and amazing world around us. There are 7 bundles, and it includes facts about the regions and book connections and so forth. So we're going to take a deeper look at the Global Arts Passport just to give you an idea of what these lessons look like. Here's an example from the lesson highlighting Europe. As you can see, there are posters, student materials, essential questions, I can statements, background information, cross-curricular connections, as well as the passport and stamps that help with student engagement. The essential question you'll see here: how can learning about Europe influence our art making? And then they have a fact sheet there for students. Students have the background information, a page for taking notes as they're learning about the different countries. Each lesson has the I can statement. You'll notice for this lesson, it names the art skill the students will be working on, such as balance, symmetry, shadows, and form, along with the math connections to parallel and perpendicular lines. All of the lessons have a cross-content connection. Here's an example of the detailed lesson plans for teachers, so you can see where this is a very user-friendly program. And finally, each lesson ends, the students have an opportunity to conduct a self-assessment and reflect on their learning, and the teacher has a short rubric in order to gauge whether or not the students had mastered the skill that was targeted in the lesson. I would be remiss not to show you some of our students engaging in an art lesson from the program. Here they're using a variety of techniques to recreate a character from a book they read. This particular lesson, I don't know if you can tell, they're drawing a porcupine. He was sad because every time he carried a balloon, it popped. And so throughout the story, it showed how he persevered and problem solved by putting on a helmet. And then his balloons didn't pop. But it's a cute little story for our kindergartners. Membership to this program, as I said earlier, allows our staff an opportunity to participate in a number of trainings. They have a good archive of material on there and are always publishing more opportunities for our teachers to participate in. And they offer membership to, they call it their Sparkle magazine. And again, it's this online forum that allows them to connect with a greater online art community and to collaborate with other educators across the country. That's our peek into Deep Space Sparkle. I would love to come back and after a year of implementation and kind of talk about how that went. But thank you for allowing me the time tonight to share this with you.
Thank you. That sounds like a great program moving forward. Thank you.
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
How often, like one class, how often do they do that? Is it once a week or what?
You know, they're working on the schedule because the way the funding works, we take the number of students that we need to serve and we kind of divide it up to make sure there's an equitable access. So they have a rotation right now of how often they're going in.
Okay.
So I couldn't tell you right now exactly how many
Sure.
times, but they did try to be as equitable as possible as they're going through, and they'll rotate through with their
Okay.
teachers.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just add a few things. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to thank you, Stephanie, and your team, and the two art coaches, because we really wanted to look at a curriculum that would teach the skills of art and get our kids interested in art, but at the same time teach things that other pieces of the core curriculum that's in there. So you saw the one with the ocean and the different environments you can be in. So you did a really good job of that.
Well,
And
thank
just to let the board know, this is part of that Prop 28 money, which is the art tax that California approved a couple years ago. And so part of that is 80% is spent on personnel with 20% coming in equipment. So these two teachers are paid out of that, and then of course the equipment and stuff. So it's taxpayers' money at a good use.
That's what I was going to say. It's so great to see that
Yeah.
put into action, and thank you and your team for moving forward in
Oh,
such a
thank you.
positive way.
I'm
Great.
very fortunate. The two art teachers we hired are very passionate and very skilled, and they're going to do great things.
Great, and our kids are the beneficiaries of that.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Okay, now at this time, we will move forward, but those of you who came just for the presentations and recognitions, we'll give a few moments if you'd like to congratulate and say hi and all of that to each other. So 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll move on with our business meeting. But thank you so much, and congratulations. Okay, we're going to move forward. Are there any requests to address the board?
No requests for tonight.
Okay. Having no requests, we will move forward into the consent agenda approval items. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Okay. He's making a motion. Member Kolb Senior, is there a second?
I'll second.
A second. Any further discussion? Being none, we will vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? Member Worthy? Oh, I heard that. And Member Stroh votes aye. Moving into the next division, Superintendent Division, the Superintendent's Report.
Okay, we've got a lot of great pictures and stuff at the start of school, so. Oh, thank you. We're going to start out with our welcome back, where we congratulated our In Kudos winners. So each school site had different winners in the different categories. We brought them all together at the district office level and chose one outstanding person in each one of the categories. So there's our pictures up there, and it was a great day. I think it's something that our staff really looks forward to seeing who's going to be the MVP and the other awards that we give out. Next there is just a little shout out to our high school football team. They went to Hawaii this year, and they did a lot of volunteer work with the community that was devastated by the wildfire. And you know, they weren't gracious in the game, though. They came across very victorious, and it was really, our kids did a great job there, and we're very proud of their behaviors and the way that they acted, and then also our coaching staff who put that all together along with the parents. It's just a well-rounded job and an experience those kids will not forget. First day of school, it was an exciting day, one that we look forward to every year, and so do the kids. Here's some people enjoying their first day at the middle school. We got a couple pictures here down at the Roadrunner School, down at the elementary school. And now over to Lilac, and I think the most excited of them all was Mr. Reineck there, and still recovering. There was no kid with a bigger smile than him, but they were all very happy. Down at Pauma, the kids came back, and you know, Pauma's a neat place because when they come back, so many of the people they come back and see, their family and friends, and they've seen each other all summer, but they're so excited that it's at a different place. Maybe where mom and dad aren't keeping an eye on them, I don't know, but they are very excited to get back. Here's our high school. We see our cowgirl principal up there leading the Jaguars. She rode a cow in.
Oh, yes.
I would tell the board, though, that it was not a live cow, and we have no injuries to report, no workman's comp. And then you can see the students there as they leave the gym after the opening rally. It's great to see our stairways and everything filled with kids. And then our primary Bs returned to the hive. In fact, I was at Mrs. Arroy's class, and just had a great time with the kindergartners there, and just fun to see that excitement there. And then over at Oak Glen, you can see a picture of the staff and the students coming. Definitely a different atmosphere on Oak Glen this year when the students were coming back, and a lot of more of recognizing the students and making sure that they were welcome coming back like we do at all of our other sites. And want to give a shout out to Mrs. Carrillo, who did a great job opening the school over there. And not only did she open that school, but we also have our first day at Valley Center Prep. A lot of times the first day doesn't have a whole lot of students because it's independent study, but you see our teachers are eagerly waiting for their students to arrive. One of the things that I would just say about our opening, I met with the principals a couple of days after the opening and let them know that that was truly one of the best openings I think we've had as a school district. When you look at the excitement that was on the campuses, from the staff, from the students, I mean, it really just felt like one of those first days back that we used to experience back in, you know, before COVID. I hate to keep referring to that, but it was just, everything was just so much better. All of our sites were prepared. Our custodial staff, our maintenance did a great job. We had a new CNS director this year, and Michelle, and she did an excellent job. I was over at the high school. One of the things I'm worried about at the very first day of school is how long are the lines? And within about 10 minutes, there was only 5 or 6 kids left in line getting their food. And, I mean, just really flowed good and well. And then we also, a second year with our same bus, or with our new bus director, and busing and everything went really well. So when I told them that, we were only about 4 days into the school year, so I prefaced it with just saying, hey, we're not quite fully open, but this part's been really good. So I'll preface it with, I'm not considering the opening over yet, but so far it's been really good. And if we need to have the opening attitude every day for the rest of the year to keep this going, that's what we'll do. Great job to the principals and administrators, and our teachers, of course, and staff. Back to school night. This is a great time. We kind of crammed them in a little bit more because we try to do one every night, and it ends up that they end up going 3 or 4 weeks, and the people that get the very last night, the kids have already been in school for 5 or 6 weeks sometimes before the parents get back to school. So it has been quite a whirlwind. We were out every night this week at back to school nights, and some of them last week. And really just, once again, just the atmosphere on campuses were great. This is over at Lilac. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make Lilac as I went to some of the other ones, but I love the cornhole game up there. And you can see down at the bottom right there where Mauricio is manning the table for our bond that we are looking at and giving information out on the bond. And, of course, Lilac always has a great hamburger barbecue system going, and so I did miss that this year. Back to school night at the middle school. This is a picture of the classrooms there. They had they actually had a very cool back to school night. The weather hadn't changed quite yet, and the weather was completely perfect. Here's the Jaguars on Tuesday night. You can see their administrative staff. Let me jump in a picture with them since we all had Jaguar stuff on. Cheerleaders out there doing a cheer for the parents. Down at the bottom there, you can see the band who played probably about a 30-minute set before the parents got there. And let me tell you, it was hot during that time, and the kids sounded great. So a lot of fun at the back-to-school night. They also had a barbecue there, hot dogs. Then OG, they had their back-to-school night there, and it looks like they had a barbecue going also. You can tell that most people are really excited, but nobody is excited as Doyen down there in the bottom picture. The staff there just really made it a welcoming time for their parents there. It's a little bit smaller group that gets together just because of the school size, so it was really a neat setting. Pauma, this is where I got a great barbecue, barbecued by Nancy Pena's husband, Ricardo. And they really, they have a ton of parents that come out to theirs and their kids, so it was a lot of fun to be down there. And down in the bottom there, again, we're doing stuff for the bond. This is over at the elementary school. Mark and our board president was over at the elementary school. I know that they had a great time, and Valerie, a first-year principal with us, put on a great back-to-school night. And, it went very well. So this is the last time we talked as a board. We did not have a bond title yet. So I know you've all heard it now, but just so we announce it here at the board meeting, we are Bond SS. It's the bond or the paper that we're looking at right now, that is a flyer that we've had produced. If we look back at kind of the rules of this bond issuance or bond election, we can pass out informational materials to people at almost any event we want. We just can't tell people how to vote. And so we've worked with our staffs to make sure that they understand that. This is a flyer. This flyer specifically is only information. It talks there about the 4 or 5 main projects. The next little portion of it talks about which schools we're doing. We got a great picture of one of our young men up there working in his classroom. And then the back side of that flyer, it talks about some of the more detail of the exact projects that we're going to be doing. The end there talks, this is more, it tells people and informs them on exactly how much of a tax it is, how that tax works, how, if it does go through, we're allowed to spend that money, who's the oversight on that. It's a lot of good information that I think allows voters to make a more educated vote when they get to it. This flyer we have in both English and Spanish, and we'll be putting these out through the schools, through our staff. We also have a mailer that will be going out here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's also just an informational mailer, which means the district will send that out, and we'll also be able to follow that up and the mailer will be to all of Valley Center. The follow-up that we can do that is we can send a similar type mailer through the email to our parents. On top of that, there's a separate organization that is running a campaign for SS, which is called support vote yes on SS, support our schools, supporting our schools. That is like I said, a separate organization. They'll be the ones who will be putting the signs up on the road and some different signs up on the fences along the more, corridors. The idea there is that anybody that is a school employee that would like to help out with that campaign can do that outside of business hours. And we have quite a few staff members that'll be helping out and quite a few community members that have asked and are looking to get involved with it for us. So that's where we're at with the bond. We also have, for last year, we talked about our PBIS and how all of our schools received recognition for their first year in PBIS. The highest recognition you could get was a silver recognition, and you can see that we got 6 of those, with one of our schools getting a bronze. And this year we'll be trying to go for the next level up, which would be the gold. Also, this gets us mentioned on the PBIS website as schools that have received these honors. And along with that, we'll be receiving some signs that we can put up on our campuses that we've received that honor. This has been a lot of work from not administrators, but a lot of work from teachers and staff members who are involved in the PBIS, and the principal's kind of there to help direct, but it's really driven by our staff, and so they've done a great job. Just so that we remember, it's PBIS, Positive Behavioral Intervention Systems, right? Yeah. All these acronyms are different, but what this really stands for is really letting our students know what our expectations are, and then helping them to understand and know how to meet those expectations, and then rewarding them when we do meet those expectations, both individually and as a school site. So good stuff going on there, and it will continue this year as we get going for the second year of PBIS. I want to mention our board policy 5131.8. This is our mobile communication devices. The reason I wanted to mention this is about 2.5 years ago, Mark's last year as a high school principal, the staff got together and we're trying to figure out what do we do with these cell phones. The staff at that time decided that that we would enforce what we were telling the students to do, which was you can't use your phone during class time. You can't use it if you go to use the restroom. You can only use your phone on break, lunch, and then before and after school. That was the high school rule. Last year, we as a board, before school started, we put that into a board policy so that it would have more teeth to it. And then this year, we've worked with our staffs, both in the elementary schools, work with this a little bit, but it's really a middle school, high school issue, and work with both of those staffs, and their principals continue to work with them. At the middle school, they can't have their phones out at all, period. And I've been on the middle school campus several times. There are not phones out on the campus. At the high school, they kind of get to move up a little bit. We're hoping they're a little more mature. They can use their phones on break and lunch. And I've been on the high school campus several times. They are using them at lunch and break, not as much as I've seen in the past, but they're not out in the classrooms when I walk classrooms. And so that's where our policy sits. The reason I bring it up tonight is you guys have probably seen a lot in the newspaper. The governor has come out and made a recommendation as or signed off on a recommendation law that says schools should have a board policy of this. A lot of schools are announcing they've got this new cell phone policy. We've already had it. We've had it last year. It went very well. We're starting out this year being very diligent about it and trying to keep the screen time down for our students and keep them more engaged in the school. And I do think when they're not using it in the class, more often when they go out at lunch, they're also engaging in their friends and not using it as much. So I think it's going to lead to some good things for us. Then, National IT Professional Days. We've got Damien and Mauricio back there as representatives of our just fantastic IT team, guys. We want to give a shout out to you. I mentioned how we had a great opening with buses with CNS and all that, and I did not put in our IT team because every year it's like, well, we don't have access to this and we don't have access. This year, a lot of that was ironed out way ahead of time. They did a great job over the summer for seeing what might be some of the issues and the log-on problems, and just really thank you, Mauricio, Damien, and your guys' team, and we'll look forward to celebrating when we get to the 17th with you. All right. Well, with that, I am going to turn it over to our business department, and unless there's any questions, and Michael. Oh,
Can you go?
I'm sorry, I forgot. Well, actually, I didn't forget it. There's not a slide for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll let you read the first reading.
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna move on to the first reading of the board. Will do its first reading for the revised board policy and administrative regulations, AR 6158 and BP 6158. We'll move to Michael. You just had to say one little sentence. There you go, Michael. Thank you.
There's no presentation for this. This is just the GAN limit. It's a yearly resolution to adopt the GAN limit for this fiscal year's budget and a revision for last year's fiscal budget. So there's an attachment in the board packet. It has the new GAN limit. We are under it, so we're good to go.
Okay, so we will move to approve 2024-2025-03 GAN limit resolution and appropriation limit calculation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, and do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion on that at all? Being none, we will vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? And Member Worthy? And Member Stroh votes aye. Thank you. Into Educational Services, public hearing and resolution 2024-2025-2 for board approval of the sufficiency of public textbooks and instructional materials.
So moved.
Okay, and a second? Any discussion? Okay, being none, let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? Member Worthy? And Member Stroh votes aye. Presentation and briefing on artificial intelligence, AI.
Thank you, President Stroh, Superintendent McCowan, members of the board, and guests. Tonight, we're excited to provide both a presentation and a briefing that is included in our board packet around the potential and the future role that artificial intelligence in education could play, and more specifically, really looking at what does that role look like, not just in education, but education in our school district, education in our classrooms with students here, with our staff. So we are very fortunate that we're going to have a presentation tonight presented by Ella Storms and our Chief Technology Officer, Mauricio Ortega. So just before we get started, I just wanted to just let everybody know that Ella Storms is our summer intern, and she gave up her summer to essentially work with me and read a lot of language that's part of Senate bills and Assembly bills, and what everybody wants to do during their summer, and provide me notes and help guide me in how that leads to revisions of board policy and things like that. So part of that is she took some time to review and kind of survey what other districts are doing, what the Department of Education is doing, what all of these different groups are doing around the role that artificial intelligence could play in education. So I'll invite Ella up to give our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, I'm Ella. I'm a recent graduate from VCHS, part of the class of 2023, and I currently attend the University of Chicago. And big thanks to Mr. Halewood, Mr. McCowan, and the Institute of Politics at UChicago for kind of making this opportunity to work in education policy work for me. So to get started on this presentation, with the rise of accessible and deeply trained AI models, questions regarding how AI will impact education continue to emerge. Generative AI tools, including ChatGPT and Google Gemini, are trained on massive amounts of data to recognize patterns and relationships between words, images, and sounds. They use that understanding to generate brand new, original, often creative outputs customized to the prompts users provide. In education, these tools provide ways to enhance student outcomes, improve learning experiences, and increase accessibility. For students, this can provide for personalized learning, research, and feedback. Like the example seen here from Khan Academy's Khanmigo, a personalized AI tutor designed to help a student to answer a question without just giving the answer. For educators, this can support lesson planning, grading, and data analysis to drive learning, with tools like Magic School to write an assessment prompt, or CurePod to put together an outline for a lesson plan on the Industrial Revolution. For both students and staff, the use of AI presents many benefits to learning that can be explored. At the same time, careful planning and implementation must be done to ensure that AI tools are used responsibly and safely. In preparation for the briefing document provided to you tonight, several resources were used. These include the U.S. Department of Education, California Department of Education, California School Board Association, and Teach EI Educational Partnership Committee resources. These all speak to the role and impacts of AI in education and provide information for the creation of AI policy and guidelines. Reviewing these sources, several key elements and themes repeat themselves. 1. Humans in the loop. AI is here to support, not replace, the human connections that are so important in education and so valued in this district. Teachers will remain at the center, using AI as a tool to enhance instruction and learning. 2. Align to district vision. All research suggests that the way AI tools are used must stay aligned with the district's core values. These values for the district provide a foundation for all aspects of implementation and usage. 3. Safety and data privacy. Keeping student and staff data safe is a top priority. AI tools must comply with privacy laws like FERPA, and the use of AI tools in an educational environment should comply with privacy laws, and no sensitive data will be entered without proper safeguards in place. 4. Involving educators. Teachers and educational staff are at the heart of learning and should play a key role in how AI is used in the classroom. Through ongoing training and support, they need to feel confident and empowered to use these tools effectively. 5. Academic integrity. AI has the potential to be used unethically, but clear policies can be put in place to prevent this misuse, like submitting AI-generated work as a student's own work. Educators will help students understand how to use AI responsibly. 6. Equitable access. Commitments to ensure students have access to AI tools and the technology needed to use them. This helps bridge the digital divide, especially for students whose access outside of the school environment may be limited. 7. Support and training. Provide ongoing professional development and training to ensure staff and teachers are fully supported as they integrate AI into their work. These are just some of the highlights of information that was reviewed and is being utilized by many local school districts throughout the state of California. Many of these districts are starting the process of addressing how to implement AI tools and develop policy to guide usage. These tools, like many emerging technologies, will continue to grow and be a part of society. According to the LinkedIn Future of Work report, the tools and skills for many jobs have changed by 25% since 2015. By 2030, this is expected to grow to a 60% change with the emergence of AI. And just from a recent student's perspective, implementing AI in a really positive and well thought out way could potentially change the lives of many of these students. We have a huge unduplicated population, and as a former high school student, I kind of saw how firsthand how unduplicated students and just students who aren't part of that population alike struggle to gain access to resources that typically only the upper class can afford, such as tutors and college counselors, private college counselors, and just online resources and help in general that may cost additional money. And so AI has the potential to provide tutoring to students, personalized tutoring, and to provide personalized counseling for colleges, and potentially even provide a way for students to learn how to compile a holistic college application. So AI can really potentially help bridge the digital and educational equality divide in this district. Something I'm very passionate about and something that I look forward to seeing this district move forward with. AI tools can have a positive impact when used safely and in a thoughtful way, emphasizing the relationships and engagement that is foundational in the Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for listening to me tonight. And I hand it off to Mr. Ortega to continue.
Thank you so much, Ella. What a great presentation, and what an honor it is to have you giving that. Thank you for your work.
I
hard work
don't
on
know
that.
what your degree is going to be in, but after you graduate, please make sure you come and apply for a job here. I don't know what the job will be, but we'll hire you for something. All right?
Exactly.
When I started just introducing the topic and talking about it, you know, it's not every day you sit down with a former student of Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District and just have an intriguing and deep conversation around AI, which is awesome. So thank you for engaging in that work. And with that, what we are going to think about is our goal is to educate you and to make informed decisions and to understand where we're headed to in our journey around looking at AI and how it's going to fit into our district. And so there are 3 pillars here that I want to just briefly touch on as what we'll be looking at in terms of engaging our staff, engaging our teachers, engaging our students, parents, community, and everyone as a whole. And that is responsible AI use. The second one is data protection, data privacy, and the third one is inclusive practices. And so how does all that fit in with what we're doing? And so I like channeling the turtle, going slow to go fast. And so we want to go slow in this process because we don't want to move too quickly and then suddenly realize that we've moved too quickly and we have to go back and make changes. And so we definitely want to understand what we're doing and doing it slowly. And there's a summer book that our Superintendent McCowan kind of introduced me to, and it was called the Next Wave. And it said that in terms of AI, let's not look at it in terms of like the next Google. Look at it in terms of the invention of fire or the Industrial Revolution. Just big, massive changes that are coming our way. The other areas that we're going to look at throughout the year and moving forward is looking at policy. So how is policy going to impact our district and how are we going to adopt it? Looking at resources. What can we do with AI that adds value and has a positive impact? Who can we work with for good, responsible AI solutions? So looking at what are those solutions? Database for AI, fact sheets, vendors. Every vendor is telling us now that they have AI. And so really looking at it and seeing what's going to benefit our district and align with our policies and values. And system requirements. And finally, what is our incident response to that? So we want to detect it, we want to be aware of it, but how do we respond to it when we realize that it might not go the way we want it to go? So just being prepared. Other considerations to look at here is we are going to use AI in service of our LCAP goals. And so AI is not a new thing. We're not doing a new AI. It's more of what are we doing within our PBIS? What are we doing with MTSS? What are we doing with our LCAP goals? What are we doing with our curriculum? And how is it going to be in service of those areas rather than something new? So we will take out the roadmap. We'll create a coalition. We'll take a look at what are the platforms that are out there. We'll consider them. We'll meet with everyone and ultimately determine what's going to be used and what are we going to review and how is it going to benefit our district as a whole. And so with that, that is our presentation. And so we want you to just be educated around it and just know that these will be really cool and educational conversations to benefit us all.
I don't know about a specific question. Do you guys have any other questions? I like the idea of it. I think there's a lot of cautions in my mind. Just at back to school night for high school was in one of my son's class, and like the teacher said, because of AI, we're doing more stuff on paper, so to prevent kids from just ripping stuff off online. So yes, I agree. I think we should go slow and stuff. So I affirm, the world is going down this path, so we need to go down the path and do it wisely. So I affirm, let's explore and see how to do that wisely. So yeah.
Great. Thank you for that, but I also, I'd say going slow, because you're already hearing, this, and then they're redoing this and that, and so slow and deliberate, and I think it's good to get back to pen and pencil too.
I do like her point about the ability for tutoring and opportunities like that. So those are really good point, good research.
A lot of ways that we can be enhanced by that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's any secret in this room that I'm not a real big tech guy, but I've never really said that tech scares me. But AI scares me a little bit. And one of the reasons I read the book, The Next Wave, was because it really took and it really put into context what AI is. And it is one of the biggest changes that we will see in our lifetime. And the result of that change will be much quicker than the result of what fire did in the world. And the idea that, you know, we were talking about cell phones a minute ago. Cell phones is going to be a little issue compared to what's coming with AI. And one of the things that it really talked about was making sure that you get on the front end of that you start looking at your organization, how can it be used effectively, and at the same time look at how do we make sure that it's not used inappropriately, and especially with students. And so we as a board are going to be doing a lot of work on AI, I think, over the next 4 or 5 years. And I think one of the biggest things for us to keep in mind is we always want to take advantage of what this new technology is and then try to limit the amount of disadvantages that it gives us. And with that being said, I want to also reach out to Ella and say thank you very much. We were very excited when you called and wanted to do an intern with us. And you met our expectations and then some. In fact, every cabinet member, including Nancy, has asked me how they get an intern next summer. So your mom and dad should be very proud, and we are very proud of you as a Valley Center High School graduate. So thanks for coming back. This is our first kind of step into this new world as a board, and like I said, we're going to continue to grow on this instead of letting it take over before we look at it.
It seems like every system, every platform has some type of AI assistant jumping around on the corner. What's the difference between AI and machine learning?
So it's generative AI. So it's the ability to process what's out there in terms of all the data and complexities and being able to put it in a way that sounds almost logical. And sometimes, you know, Ella brought an interesting point. You could submit an article. You can submit, you could have students submit a paper, and then it will give the feedback in terms of what's missing within an introductory paragraph. There might be concrete details missing. So it just has the capability to pick it out quickly. There's other ones that are like if-then statements, and that's not really AI. It's just looking at logic. And if it does this, then that. But generative AI is more of complexities and be able to solve problems. Great. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, here we are. Approval of updated EL reclassification criteria. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
And let's, any discussion on that? Okay. We're going to vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Kolb Senior? And Member Worthy? And Member Worthy? Okay. And Member Stroh votes aye. Moving on to advanced planning. The next regular meeting is scheduled for Thursday, October 10th, 2024 at 6 p.m. at the High School Media Center. Adjournment. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
Discussion?
Nope.
None. Let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior? Member Worthy? And Member Stroh votes aye. And it is, what is the time? 7:07, and the meeting is adjourned.
And happy birthday, Alfonso.
Happy birthday, Alfonso. Thank you all for coming. Have a great evening.